This week we're going to talk about technology integration models, and as you go through and listen to me, you'll talk about a little bit, you'll understand why they're so important. It's just like stating goals and objectives and working through things, and we're going to talk a little bit about Bloom's taxonomy before. Anybody that's ever had an undergraduate course with me before, my 3500, I always do an exercise in Bloom's taxonomy. So what are the objectives for this week? We're going to identify technology integration models. We're going to determine how technology can be utilized at different levels in the classroom. And the last thing, which is the most fun, and I'm learning still with you about doing this, I'm not a pro at it, so just kind of bear with me. I think I've got it down, but I'm going to be working with you on it, is to create a slide presentation using AI. So the two technology models we're going to be using are Samr, and I've taught Samr and TPAC before in professional development to teachers, but this is taking it a next step up. We're going to be using some AI with it. So you need to know this information about Samr and about TPAC. Samr is, to me, a little, I personally prefer Samr to TPAC because it seems more logical to me on the way it's integrated. So let me just kind of talk to you a little bit about it, and that's where this video is going to go right here for Samr. All right, so this is Samr, and it was made last year by Mr. Cole Blanchard out of the Dunham School, and she was teaching me about it and then teaching about using AI with it as well. So it's a widely recognized framework for integrating technology into teaching and learning. It provides a structured approach to evaluate how technology enhances educational practices. So let me just stop right here. It used to be to say, I'm going to use technology. It'll make it better no matter what. Just like anything else, you have to think about what your objectives are, what material you're going to teach. Is it logical to use different types of technology with them, and how? So what is the Samr model? It was developed by Dr. Ruben Puentedura. It provides a framework for educators to analyze how technology impacts their teaching and learning. So it starts at the bottom where it says enhancement, and then it goes on up to transformation. So substitution, at the bottom right here, technology replaces traditional tools with little or no change in the learning process. So you're still using the same learning process, but you may be using something that's just actually a traditional tool, okay? So maybe like PowerPoint. I consider that kind of a traditional tool. Then the next one is augmentation. So think what the word augment means, that the technology enhances or improves the existing learning activities. So if I'm using technology to enhance and improve what I'm actually doing, then we get into the transformational, and that's modification, redefinition. Think about the word modify. Modification is when technology allows for significant changes in teaching and learning tasks. So you may have the teaching and learning task, but you've made significant changes to using technology to modify it to hopefully make it more user-friendly, the students learn it better. And the way I always look at using technology, if it is not going to improve how you're teaching it, don't use it. All right, redefinition is where technology allows for the creation of new learning experiences that would not be possible without it. So, in other words, you could not teach the new learning at all if you hadn't had the technology created to actually teach it. All right, so Samr levels overview. Let's look at Starbucks. All of us are familiar with Starbucks. It's visualized as a pyramid with the levels of technology integration increasing from bottom to top. And here we're starting at bottom and going to top. This model encourages educators to consider the transformative power of technology beyond simple substitution. So we're not just looking at substituting a PowerPoint for some points that you wanted to make on a slideshow. All right, so you've got just a plain old coffee, all right? So technology replaces traditional tools, but the learning process remains largely unchanged. So you may replace this, but it remains basically unchanged. Then augmentation is when it enhances the existing learning process by adding new features or functionality. So when you add a latte to a coffee, you've actually enhanced it, you've changed it a little bit. Then modification changes the way learning activities are designed, leading to a significant shift in how knowledge is acquired. So look at that caramel macchiato. You've really added a bunch of different ingredients, and it's different from the coffee. Then the redefinition means you've enabled the creation of an entirely new learning experience that were not possible before. So here you go. Technology allows for the creation of new tasks. So pumpkin spice, latte, whatever, look how you've redefined all the traditional things that we were leading up to that. All right, so let's look at it just a little bit at a time. Substitution. Technology is a direct tool substitute with no functional change. So at the substitution level, technology acts as a direct replacement for existing tools. This level of integration focuses on replacing traditional methods with technological alternatives, but there's little or no change in the learning outcomes or the way the content is delivered. So you're substituting, but there's little or no change. So, for example, students take notes with a traditional pen and paper, but you may have a digital note-taking app on a tablet. But what is it doing? It's basically taking the same information, it's just doing it digitally. All right, let's go to augmentation as a tool with functional improvement. So augmentation uses technology to enhance or improve that existing learning activities. While the learning objectives remain the same, technology adds new features or capabilities that improve the effectiveness or efficiency of the learning process. Okay, so what's the old traditional method? Students use paper flashcards, which I still use. I know I'm old, but I still like flashcards, to learn new vocabulary words. Each flashcard has a word on one side and the definition on the other. The modified method is the students create flashcards online to learn new vocabulary words. They incorporate pictures to represent the vocabulary word. Of course, there's a lot of tools out there that do it within technology, but that's what we're doing. We changed it. Then the modification is technology allows for significant task redesign. So modification involves using technology to significantly redesign learning tasks. At this level, technology transforms the learning process, leading to new approaches to teaching and learning. And the core objective of this learning activity may remain the same, but the way students learn and demonstrate their understanding changes considerably. So the traditional method under modification is students complete a research paper individually. The modified method is students collaborate on a research project using online tools for information gathering and sharing. They create a presentation including videos and visual creations to educate each other on their findings. So they're kicking it up another notch. So then, redefinition. Technology allows for the creation of new tasks that were previously inconceivable. So redefinition involves using technology to create entirely new learning experiences that would not be possible without it. At this level, technology fundamentally transforms the learning process, enabling students to engage in innovative activities that were previously inconceivable. And I think all of us like to learn things that are new, fresh, in a totally different way. So let's look at this. Traditional. Students learn about events through textbooks and lectures. They take notes followed by a test. The redefined, students learning about the historical events. They create a virtual field trip, the historical site using VR technology. They share this field trip on the internet so other students can experience it. All right, so the conclusion here. The Samr model provides a valuable framework for educators to effectively integrate technology into their teaching practices. By moving beyond simple substitution and embracing higher levels of integration, educators can leverage technology to create engaging and effective learning experiences that prepare students for the challenges of the 21st century. So, we reflect on the current technology, we plan, we identify opportunities for higher level Samr integration, we implement the technology enhanced learning activities, then of course we need to evaluate it. Did it work? Did it impact student learning?